Don't you love it when you pray about something and God answers that prayer? That's what we did. We asked God to give us clarity and unity about how to make the most of the opportunities He's creating for us. And He answered our prayer. He is unleashing a movement of disciples like us making disciples, and churches sending out people to plant new churches. You know, we need new churches that help us to reach maybe those that we're not reaching very effectively right now. I'd love for you to meet my friend Chase. 17 years of age when a young pastor stepped into his life and began to disciple him, began to mentor him. It was life-changing for Chase.
We did life together, and that was the real way of doing it. It was a kind of grow as you go form of discipleship. We went to the grocery store together, and we talked about life. We talked about bills. We talked about marriage. I mean, it defined what it was to be a man of God for me.
This discipler began to give Chase responsibilities, you know, basic at first, but important, things like setting up the chairs, making sure the rooms were organized, etc. And then as Chase progressed, eventually he was overseeing all of the worship arts ministry. And then he came into the life of the church I served, Kentwood Community Church, and he was part of that team. And then while there, God gave him a clear calling for what was next.
And it was just God's voice. You're gonna plant a church. Okay. I began to ask about where. And the idea of the 49507 community really kind of came into mind. It's an incredibly diverse population. And so it's this place where you have a moment of blend, but this very clear separation. Vulnerability, that's the only space where we actually begin to see transformation and change. This is the space for that. Relational discipleship, that's our model. There's a guy named Lucas who is tech director here at Unison. Now that I've been able to walk with Lucas for a few years, he's grasped the concept of relational discipleship and is carrying it out. And it evolves, and it's this beautiful, natural, organic way of growing together.
Do you see how Chase's life is like the perfect example of discipleship leading to multiplication? I just get excited about it. I want to celebrate, don't you? Every time a disciple makes a disciple and the church multiplies itself until the Wesleyan Church has a transforming presence in every zip code. I'm convinced God is unleashing a movement. And this movement means us being intentional about discipleship and multiplication until every zip code has a Chase. Someone who's present, that transforming presence of Christ, is shown through them. It is so energizing to see how God is working among us, and He wants to include us in it. Are you all in for what God is doing?